Hope you guys made some good friends. We do need more men, right? Come on, women. I'm counting on you guys to bring the men because you guys have secret powers, basically. So hey, well, what's going on, everybody? Give me a big wave or throw a five in the chats if you can see and hear me. All right, welcome, welcome, welcome to this Millionaire Mentorship. And today is the last day that we're doing this open. And from after this week on, it will be a closed group and we're going to be doing mentoring. I believe in the word mentor, that requires connection, that requires relationship, right? And the fact that you're on this call, you're either one of two people. Either one, we had a qualifier and you made it into that qualifier. You had to get an event ticket to a PXP or a Connect event. You had to be ultimate. You had to enroll a couple of people. And we had a couple of months together and we had amazing mentorship from people like an Annika Bell. We had our co-partners with the Harpers. I was just chatting with them. If you were involved in that first group, put a 1 in the comments. I want to honor you guys and congratulations. If you're looking at the chats there, just way to just take action, raise your hand and just self-select. It says a lot about who you are. Leaders, I've realized, are you don't have to look far. They select themselves. They rise to the top. And when you're challenged, you're risen up to that challenge. There's also a second group here. And the second group are those that are interested in this. Maybe you heard about a way to get promoted. Maybe your teammate was like, just hop onto this. Or maybe you've been hearing about this Millionaire Mentorship. You're like, man, that sounds really, really cool. And you wanted to get a taste of what this is. If that's you, we want to honor you. Put a 2 in the comments below as well. So excited. Awesome. Dora, our newest manager. Bonnie, awesome. Julie and Jordan and Cheryl and Angela and Tessa and Joe and Estetta and Carol and Fran. And what's up, Fran? Our senior manager. Lots of cool, amazing names, right? Just so many names and stories and everything. So I just want to applaud you for going through and saying, you know what? I want more. And that's what this is all about. And we are going to regularly we meet once a week. We have a private Facebook group and we're going to have campaigns and mentorship and stuff where we're going to give you high level things. Just the other day, Annika Bell did one of the most incredible leadership trainings that I've seen. I'm just like, how did you pull that out? You know, Annika, on the topic of leadership, you're going to be going all over the world. You are going to Dallas, you are going to Japan, you're going to many places. When you think about leadership, what excites and related to our business, what excites you about that?
So much. I think like for me, businesses are made at events. So if I need some clarification or just need some love, when you get in the room, you feel that love and it definitely explodes in your own leadership. The leadership always starts with us. So if I always think, and if I ever feel like I'm blocked, I go and lift the lid of my leadership because that's like I kind of get to that point of like, I don't know what direction I'm going on. And events definitely light up my soul. And if I can get to as many as I can, then I will to get to be in the room with so many of you. Like I know I've met a lot of our American people and our old events only had like 300, 400 people. I'm blown away. I just think I'm going to go to an event with 1,200 people and Europe's got 4,000 and PXB in Japan. I have no idea, but I'm excited to put some earbuds in and listen to different languages. Like you guys are a whole different beast of a different business. So to be in the room, to learn, to adapt, and your breakout rooms. Like I'm speaking at PXB in Dallas, and I'm so excited because I get to hear other people speak. Our industry is full of so many amazing leadership, and I personally, 2 years ago, I paid $150,000 to do some leadership courses with so many other leaders. And don't get me wrong, I learned some nice things, but I didn't get much more than what I was getting from the leaders in my industry that were giving it away for free. So I think when we look at what we've got and the blessings we have in our hands with the people that are training us and giving their words of advice, because they didn't get here by luck, they got here by their own mentality and mindset and strategy. So for me, I do not miss these events because I want to learn from the best of the best. And if you're anywhere up the top, man, I am right up your backside. And if you and if you've even been in the business 5 minutes and you've got some common knowledge about the world, I want to hear it too about what your perception is on life, because every day is a student day, my friends, especially with leadership.
Come on. Well said, Annika. Can't wait to celebrate. We have a big party at your place out in Dallas. And
Yeah. Yeah,
Becky's
we're gonna
been
have so much
funny.
fun. I just
100%.
want to tell you about my green gut drink. We call this the Vital Shot.
Yeah.
We've got 2 scoops of veggies. We've got 2 kilos. Hang on, we've got 1.2 kilos of veggies in 2 scoops. We have our mineral drinks, which helps us with our trace minerals. It's like the spark plug to our body. And my noni drink, which is the most studied noni on the face of this planet. It's a billion-dollar company. It's been going on for 30 years. And I have it in fancy cups every single morning, guys. Got to be a product of the product. And because I can't drink right now, I'm pretending to drink in these fancy cocktail glasses. So we've got to get out there profiling.
Come on.
It's
Pro
so
tip right
delicious.
there.
Yeah.
Thanks, Annika. You're amazing. Let's go. I know Americans are like, mineral drink? How do I get that? Well, maybe if you make friends with some of the Aussies and they're coming over to Dallas or you go to the events, maybe you can get some of that from the Australian market. So for sure. Awesome. Cheers, cheers, cheers to health. All right. Perfect. Thanks, Annika. Okay. So we like to have a lot of fun here. But what's the purpose of today? And where are we coming from? This being a leadership channel, is it okay if I speak to you all as leaders, like intelligent people that are able to make your own amazing decisions, that are able to rise above, right? Give me a wave or put a one in the comments below. This is a place that we go behind the curtain more. Like we actually give you details because the truth is, on the face of things, when we take a look at business, like we market a certain way, right? We market that we have a simple system, which we do. We market that we have duplication, which we have. We market that you can spend this part-time, which you absolutely can. But at the same time, I think when there's simplicity, there's also missing details of that simplicity. Business is simple, life is hard. Can we agree with that? And the hardest thing in our business is not the business. The hardest thing in our business is navigating through life. Many of you are parents or grandparents or working, or who here, by the way, has another source of income outside of Partner Co. Put a me in the comments, right? Yeah, like there's other things that we're doing. So this isn't your only part of your life. So how do you navigate all of these different dynamics and still pull it together to build your dream business? My mentor said this, that you work full-time on your job to pay your bills, but you work part-time on your fortune. And this is the fortune build, right? This is what can get you to all of your dreams. And we've been involved now in this type of business, and many of you have been involved for many, many years. That's why you go to a convention, because you're going to see the stories and you're going to see what's possible. But being involved for 16 years in this business, this line of business, and 14 years with this compensation plan, I've seen the most miraculous things. I've seen single moms that were struggling to make ends meet, able to become millionaires and the first ones in their family and break generational curses. I've seen parents that were struggling, put food on their table for their kids, be able to break free and have the most amazing vacations and holidays for their kids. I've been able to see people that you would never have ever thought could ever do well in business. I'm looking at myself. I never thought I'd ever do this, to do somewhat okay as well. This is a business that no matter where you come from, your background, your education, or anything, just like what Annika said, yeah, generational curse breaking opportunity. Come on. This is a place that is an equal playing field. And we all have access to the same products, the same comp plan, the same systems, the same everything. And we know that we're in a company that is a winner, right? Who here is grateful that you are in Partner Co. rather than all the other amazing choices that are out there? Partner Co. is, you cannot find the combination of everything that we have here. That's something that you have to choose very, very wisely, and you have chosen wisely. So congratulations on that. All right. But as we have the vehicle, the question is, how do we drive the vehicle? And one thing that I'm obsessed about, and I think in leadership, if you're taking down any notes, the level of leadership and results that you get is in direct correlation to the level of responsibility you're willing to take. So if you're responsible for just yourself, you'll make an okay income. But if you start taking responsibility for your customers and their results, for example, you're going to make more money. I think about a Saru who sold, correct me if I'm wrong, Annika, $233,000 her first 20 weeks in Partner Co. personally. Like, wow. If you talk to her, you know that she has a massive responsibility to all of her customers. And it's like they're her life. So if you take more responsibility to your customer, then you're going to see how your income grows. Also, if you take responsibility for your team and their success, you're going to see how your income will continue to scale as well too. So I believe that you take responsibility first over your current title. It doesn't matter how long you've been involved. It doesn't matter your past successes or failures. It just matters what is your willingness to take responsibility. If I can submit to you, first, I feel personally highly responsible for every single person here. But I also feel responsible for the success of Partner Co. Like I feel like, I'm going to go take a bullet for Partner Co. type of thing. And I feel that way. And as you take that responsibility, yes, there's more learnings, and yes, there's more leadership, and yes, there's all of that. But also the reward comes as well too. And I promise you, if you've been a parent, who's a parent of some type, right? I've heard that as a new parent, my fear was being a dad would mean I let go of freedoms and a sacrifice, and then it's going to be hard. But you know what happens is most of the days with your kids, some days kids are like, oh my gosh, kids. Most of the time, you're like, wow, I'm so happy that this happened. Right? I'm talking about. So it's a more responsibility, a sacrifice, but you gain something more. And the truth of life and the truth of your business is you must give up to go up. You must give up to go up. So as we take a look at, we call it the six-figure blueprint, and we take a look at the incomes that are possible. For example, this is in USD, and you take a look at senior officer, which is 14,000 a month US, or 22,500 AUD. When you look at that, and you're like, I want that in my life, right? How do you get that? We have to level up our responsibility to say, well, what kind of a leader must I become in order to serve that many people? You're going to be a leader of people. You're going to have teams. You're going to be responsible to help others. You're going to become a go-to person. You're going to have to level up in your skills, your marketing, your branding, yourself, your confidence. You're going to have to level up in your mindset, your emotions, and all of these things. We're going to talk about all of that here. And the best way to get that is to absorb it from others that are living that way. Can we agree that Annika has a very strong presence, by the way? Right? She wasn't born that way. So these are things that are learnable, right? So when we look at this, and I feel responsible for everyone, we're looking at all the stats. In this organization, we endearingly call the Champions Network, because I love all of our organizations within GG Vitality and F10X and Revolution 2.0 and Warrior Movement. And I love it all, right? It's great. So we just created this network to just be able to have like an umbrella just to easily refer to everybody, right? So as we look here, this is a relatively new organization. Most of us got started in your Partner Co journey within the last year or two. Now, if that's you, you got started in Partner Co within the last 2 years, put a 2 in the comments below. And curious, if you've been involved longer than 2 years, put a 10 in the comments below. We do have some that have been involved even prior to Partner Co being Partner Co, and we honor those. I mean, most people, if you look at the chats, I'm just scrolling down here. Okay, wow, like almost everyone. Gosh, I'm looking for, okay, Diane Odom, Tammy Egbert, Peter Ho, Amanda, you got involved basically after Partner Co. Pam. So if you look, it's like pretty much everybody got started in the last couple of years when Partner Co became Partner Co. I was talking with Annika the other day, and she was like, man, I'd love to hear some history, right? And I think we can learn a lot from history. And this is what, and where we're at right now. Here's my assessment of this organization. I believe that this organization, I'm going to have Dana Harper here in a bit as well, too, because he's a student of the game. He did such an amazing job, him and Amelia, just co-laboring within the Millionaire Mentorship. The ideas came from them. So it was a lot of fun. But this team, this organization as a whole, here's who we are. We are really good at getting customers. Would you guys agree with that? Like, that's like lifeblood. Like, that's no problem. We have systems in place, a focus in place. We are some of the best in the world. In fact, when we take a look at charts in PXP, Partner Co Experience in Dallas, out of the top 10, there's like a customer getter category. I actually think either 10 out of 10 or 9 out of 10 come from within this organization. So, and that's just in North America. And then we look at like the other markets like Australia. I know the top customer getters are coming from this organization, right? So we are amazing at customers, which is great because we want recurring income and freedom. Isn't that what we want? We want to be able to wake up on a Saturday with money in the bank. This is a team that's also very innovative. This is a team that wants to push the bar. We have automations, we have systems, we have things like, I know we're all building out like a machine or an Alice onboarding, or it's going to be called Gigi with Gigi Vitality. A lot of different things that we're doing. This is a team that's willing to experiment and try things. We're utilizing artificial intelligence. We're okay with testing and moving the limits, right? We're kind of like Apple. No offense to Android people. I love Android, but Apple's like, you know, they innovated. And my green bubble people right now are like, oh my gosh, you know, blue bubble all the way. Just kidding. I have an Android too. So anyways, we're like that Apple. So we are innovative. We love people, right? You guys are very much so wear your heart on your sleeve. You care about your people. You care about your clients. You care about everyone. And you're very, very committed. Okay. So what we've seen is the last couple of years, these teams as a whole have gotten a lot of success. In fact, #1 in the world. Technically last week, Chris, Joni Budd in Canada, I have to tell you, they've been on us like crazy. They actually took #1 last week. But I think this week it'll change again. Something happened last week, which is cool. So we'll watch. Partner Co super competitive. But let's just say we're #1. All right. So this team is just crushing it all over the place. But at the same time, when we looked across the board, there was one common thing that we heard that people wanted more of. And what that was like the paychecks are okay. They can always be better, right? As an entrepreneur, we always want more. That's always a good thing, right? Our experience is cool. We love the products. The tip of the spear was this. How do we get more wins, ranks, and recognition within our team on a weekly basis? Who here wants to change your own personal title, by the way? Give me a wave or put a me in the comments. Some of us are way long overdue. I'm looking at a Pam Middleton. I know she's like, I am so sick and tired of senior officer. It needs to change like yesterday, right? And the titles are an interesting game. Some of us have come from companies and experiences where you're at a monthly plan. And you're used to a certain cadence where in the month, like Dana Harper came from that, Annika came from that, many of you came from that, there's a certain pace of things. And all of a sudden here, we get weekly, which is good because who here does like to get paid weekly rather than once a month, right? Like that's nice. But at the same time, it's an interesting dynamic because you're like, how does this work? The week passes by so fast. I was talking with Dana and Amelia earlier today, and they were like, man, it feels like 20 weeks here is 20 months. It's like crazy fast how much life happens. So then the question and the challenge has been, how do we maximize our top rated comp plan? We know it's amazing, but how do we actually build this so it maximizes it for us and our people so that we're able to not only just have okay income and not only make money from getting my own customer, but we're able to get the bigger part, I'd say, of network marketing, which is the leverage, scalable, exponential side of network marketing. Who here would love to get paid, not just because you're getting a customer, but because you have 100 people fired up winning, all getting customers too? That gets exciting. And that has not been talked about for a little bit for many different reasons, right? Partner Co came into being just 2.5 years ago. We're adjusting to systems and tools and shifts and everything. But as we were meditating on this, what's good is this. Me and Becky have been working with this compensation plan since its inception, 14 years. When we first got involved, I'm going to pull up some history here, and then I'm going to bring up Dana at the end of this. We had no idea what we were doing with our business at all. Okay. Here we were, 22 years old, fresh out of college or uni. We had a little bit of experience with network marketing. My maximum I made was $1,000 in a month. Like it wasn't crazy. This was our first. RX was the first company that came with a comp plan, the Bill of Rights. The drops came from here. Tim Sales is on the screen, is on the stage here. I'm back here. Becky's somewhere here. We weren't even dating back then. And this was the first ever corporate event during the pre-launch of this company back in September 2011. This was 14 years ago. Sonny Yang knows this. He was in this crowd somewhere as well too. Yeah, this was back in the day, definitely different culture. Okay. But what I want you to notice is the titles. We had a culture where we came from, where the leadership and the culture was very focused. Here's what we focused on every single week. It was preached and duplicated into the culture. Number one, our obsession. And this is a team building culture. Our number one thing is get people promoted. Get people promoted. That was like duplicated into the culture. So it's all about helping the next person win. Number two, we said get events larger. Because events, whether it's a call like this or your weekly calls or an event locally or a PXP, events are what inspire. RX is weekly as well. Same comp plan. So get events larger. Event culture was a big thing. And then number three, as a byproduct of doing 1 and 2, you get people paid. Okay. Let me describe this where we're at right now. So when we launch our business these days, this is what happens. I call it phase one. Phase one is you launch your business. You have a lot of warm market, social media. We have posts, we have tracked, and we get some customers. We drive to ultimate, right? That's like our first thing. We get ultimate done. You'll hear at PXP, John Wadsworth, our owner, talking about the importance of ultimate and duplicating that. The teams that win the fastest, make that a focus, duplicate that, drive that. Phase one is that. Phase two of growth is you've gone through your warm list, and then you start learning how to network more. You brand yourself, you post on social media more, you maybe post reels, you start getting into groups, and you start expanding outside of just who you know. You learn the goal, you learn the skill of building a network and developing leads. That's an essential skill to have. All of us will have that. Usually it's a 90-day thing for the warm market. And then after that, then it's like, I call it almost like the real business, because that's when you have to actually learn how to connect and you have to have some skills under your belt. Okay. The part that I'm talking about here would be kind of like the level right above that. The first two levels are very linear. It's a lot about personal customer getting some duplication, but continuing to make sure that you get a customer. That works. What I'm talking about here, though, in this story is a team building philosophy and a rank achieving philosophy. We marry the two. You're going to see how this gets crazy. Okay. So here I am back to the story. September 2011, director. Anyone know what director is on the pay line in 1 week? How much volume? Pop quiz. What is a director? Yeah. Charmaine's got it. 2000. Yeah. So I was there. September 2011. From there, February 2012. So this is what, 5 months? I hit the next title, senior director, and we had a bigger team. Becky, we were not dating still yet. I think it was right after this, shortly after that, we started dating actually. But we started to grow more. Still probably at 22 years old. Couple months later, April 2012, hit senior vice president. And that's 5,000 on the pay line. And then our team grew larger and everything. Then senior officer in March 2013. And at that point, the team grew larger. Senior officer is a 6-figure title at probably 23 years old. We barely just had the drops. We did not know how to do social media. We did not have the systems and tools and everything that we have here. We did not have the success. Mike Vu, you're in here? Awesome. Yeah. Some of us remember these days. Yeah. It was an event culture, Annika. We're like, we need to bring people here because inspire people. It's a big thing. And then we keep on going. That year, this was the annual convention, June 2013. Becky went senior officer. It was actually at this event, I proposed to Becky on stage. So instead of the pin for senior officer, I dropped a knee and popped the question. And I forgot to put the ring on her finger, actually. But, it was awkward turtle status. But it was great. She said yes. I think we have a video somewhere, somehow, you know, but you see, she went senior officer. So remember, Becky had her own business. She led her own calls, her own trainings. She's a badass. I mean, Becky's a boss. Have you ever worked with her? She's my strategist, you know, and so many for us. But I want you to see how we're just focusing on title and getting events and everything. Next year, it went president, right? And then the following year, you just keep on saying year after year, it was a very big thing, event after event. Go help other people get promoted, yourself get promoted as well. And then it gets crazier, right? So then we have our own events, and then the success grows. Back in the day, we had a car like culture. Nowadays, it's not really the thing. I'd rather have holidays, vacations, and investments, you know. But that was cool back in the day. I don't mind a nice car still. And then we held our own event here. And at this point, we're co-leading with the owners and the founders of that company. That was a Bentley, yeah. Actually, with our savings bonus, we used our savings bonus as a down payment for a Bentley. And that was one of our dream cars. Yeah, it was a fun one. 4-door, flying spur. It's like an elephant on wheels. It was nuts. Like you get in there, suck indoors, red leather, smells like licorice, and you can't hear anything outside. It's nice. Yeah. Lambo would be cool. I know Annika got me on that. So yeah, lots of fun. So all of these were really cool. But I bring this up because, you know, that's the goal. That's the lifestyle that I share this just to tell you, like, this was back in the day before we had anything that we had right now. So we know how to maximize this compensation plan and the culture of doing it. Okay. Now I will submit that back then we had weaknesses in our build. The weakness, honestly, we didn't even know what a customer was. No one got customers back in the day. No one sold retail. It was just not a thing. It didn't exist. There's like just recruit everyone, right? We didn't have automations and systems. We didn't have online. Now, though, this is what's cool. I believe we're customer first because that's the backbone of everything. I believe we want the key to a healthy, long-term thriving business is happy customers using the product every single month. That's recurring income. We also have systems and automations that will continue to get better, both from Partner Co. Just you wait until you see what's launched at PXP. Like, wow, man. And also within the teams as well. We're constantly innovating. We have flexibility now. Back in the day, we didn't have like a phone. That was in the BlackBerry days, right? We didn't have Apple phones and social media, and we didn't know how to do those things. Nowadays, you can find leads anywhere. Now we have an international, all of us, many of us have international business, right? And Sunny said it right. That was also in the beginning when we only had 5 vitamins to sell. We didn't have our ultimate pack was basically like 20 bottles of vitamins for 22-year-olds. Try selling the value of vitamins to a 22-year-old, you know, that's just trying to go to the club or something. So I bring this up because culture wins and strategy wins. So imagine if we take what happened back in the day. It's a weekly focus, it's a cadence, it's a leadership, it's a culture, it's a strategy. And then we put it on top of a strong customer base with systems and automations and social media and attraction and flexibility. What titling does is it gives you big infusions of volume fast in your lines. If you want to go senior officer to optimize lines, that's a $14,000 a month, multiple 6-figure income. The easiest way to do that is not get 1,000 customers yourself. The easiest way to do that is help one of your teammates go officer. And if they win, you win, because volume here rolls up 100%. Who here watched the comp plan training that I did a couple of weeks ago, by the way? We compared comp plans and we have the best because of how this all works. There's no breakaways. It doesn't matter the level. You chase volume, as Annika says. So what do we do? What we would do as a leadership is weekly, around today, Wednesday, Thursday. You would look at the week, you look at your team, and you start to think, who's next? Who's next up for title? How do you know who's next? Well, who's been committed? Who's been showing up? Who's been running? You know, who's set up? Like you'll look at, I won't do it today, but we did this in the Millionaire Mentorship. You look at your tree, your reports, your volume, and you start to see, all right, who's set up for the next title. So I might take a look, and I'll bring up Dana actually to talk about this. But Dana Harper, we were reflecting. Dana just has a new manager in his team, Miss Shelley. Congrats to Shelley. She's gonna be walking the stage. But Dana, what did you do to get this manager? Remember, manager is at least 1,000 points in your line, and you guys had a certain pace of doing this. So tell us what you did.
Yeah, well, first and foremost, Miss Shelley, who just hit manager, right? She 100% deserves that promotion. 100%. She is absolutely incredible. And there's certain people that will always be in your team that you know they have the potential to do some amazing things. And that's Miss Shelley, right? She is at that point. But sometimes we just need a little bit of guidance. We need a little bit of just a game plan, right? And it's funny because I didn't really think of this until this millionaire mentorship call, probably like 4 weeks ago. James was going over the breakdown of how to really, help your team get to that next level. And it just clicked. It just kind of made sense. And I said, this makes sense. I get it now, right? I finally get it. So I did exactly just what James said. I went through my back office. I'm looking at the tree, and I'm seeing who's active. I'm seeing who's close to the next position. And I see there was a few people I've noticed, and Michelle was one of them that I could see she was actually very, very close to hitting manager. It was very, very doable. So it was just a matter of giving her the game plan that I saw, right? And I remember I sent a message to Michelle. I said, "Hey, I have a game plan for you. I know you want to go manager. When can we talk?" And she said, "Now, now, now." So we got on the phone. We jumped online. I had her share her back office, and I showed her what I saw. You know, and it's like what Zig Ziglar says, right? You can have everything in the world that you want if you help enough other people get what they want. And so we started identifying people in her team that they wanted to hit a promotion, right? And I see, actually, in addition to Michelle on the line, I see Melody on the line. Melody was someone who wanted to be ultimate, right? She saw the value. She wanted to be ultimate, and so we identified that. And Michelle said, I'll help her. We'll help her do that." And she went to work. She went to work and helped Melody hit ultimate. Congratulations to Melody for that. Absolutely incredible, incredible business level. It's one-time business level for the rest of your career. You are set. And I love that about this compensation plan. And of course, again, helping other people get promoted Miss Shelley, right? So it's just, I love the fact that this comp plan, right? I'm coming from a monthly comp plan too. So it's different. It feels different. But when we stop and really look at it, it's not really at all different. It's the same building blocks, right? We get customers, we get partners, we help other people achieve their goals so that we can move forward. And even in a monthly comp plan, right? It's like most of the time, the average person didn't work all month hard on their business. If you really stop and think about it, right? It's like you just had 3 weeks, right, to kind of see where things fell, and then that final week of the month, you kind of pushed everyone, right? It's like you closed the month, and a lot of times, what people did in that last week of the whole month was more than they did all month long. Well, that's the same concept. It doesn't really change. We pick a week and we help people go all out during that week. And I think sometimes it's even easier for people to accept that. Instead of saying someone like you have to push all month long, it's like, hey, can you just choose a week? What is your week that we can just go out and we can push for this, right? And people, even no matter how busy they are, they can see themselves working hard in a week's time, right? And so, yeah, Michelle, so excited, so proud of Melody. I mean, you guys are just champions, and it's just the beginning, right? It's just the start of her business, that line. Now just duplicating the same thing, helping other people do the same thing. Hit ultimate, and then it's the blueprint, right? hit ultimate. Then you're helping people achieve manager. Then you're helping people hit director. And as you're helping people achieve the goals that they want to achieve, it automatically pushes you through the ranks. So excited for this focus and for me, it's just I'm a year in, and I feel like this first year was just getting set up. And it's like now it feels like it's making sense. This weekly comp plan is really making sense. And now it's launch time, right? So I'm excited about where this whole organization is gonna go, especially coming off of PXP.
Come on. Well said. Congrats, Shelly, Melody, everyone. Do you see that dynamic though? So we call this chain linking title advancements. All right. Put those two words in the comments, chain link. It's about how do you help others win, and then it starts to help others win. And it's so fun. So what are the dynamics here? And all of us are going to be in one of these dynamics at one point in time. It's dynamic. So Dana in this situation was the leader that called out the run. He looked through the reports. He called out Shelly. He was like, Shelly, do you want it? Shelly's like, yes. What needs to happen, right? So as she did that, then we went down into the tree and said, who else can we help to be able to win? It's either going to be I have to do it myself or I can help someone else win too. And then you guys tapped on Melody and it's like, let's go get you to ultimate. Yeah, Melody wins. She's excited. That trickles up to Shelly. That's a pay line volume enough, and she's manager. And then ultimately trickles up to everyone else there as well too. Very simple dynamic. That's how it works. So in this weekly, some of you are going to be in Dana's shoes. I'd encourage you right now, actually, if you want to start practicing this, think right now, who are people that deserve to get promoted? Who are people that have been consistent, committed, start to take ownership and responsibility and start saying, how do we help them win, right? And then start looking at the tree and start doing some due diligence there and start engaging the groups, right? Some of us are Shelly. You want it. Hey, if you want to get promoted, here's your challenge. Talk to your mentors in your leadership and take proactivity. I know Shelly's always showing up. She's always proactive, right? And be like, what needs to get done? Dory Sanburn's here. She just hit manager. And it was a big team effort there too. They had a Sean and a Peter and a Dory. Dory was like, I need to walk the stage. I need to get promoted. What do I need to do? Then leadership comes in and helps support, right? And then there's those that are going to be alongside for the ride and just riding that up like a Melody. So Dana, way to go, man. Super privileged and honored to partner with you in this. And we're just going to rock this. And thank you for your contribution, you and Amelia, for the first part of Millionaire Mentorship. And like what you said, it's just warming up for so much more, So love it. Okay. Yeah, with that, Danielle, you're here. Miss Danielle, what's up? Danielle's going to be speaking at PXP. You launched your business. Tell us real quick your partner code launch story. So what happened in your business? How fast was it? Like all of that.
Oh my gosh. It was fast. It was so fast. When I came to PartnerCo, I was a real big skeptic and I was going through a major surgery. So I was really looking for some healing. And then I was really obviously drawn into the drops. And so that started my healing journey, but also it piqued my interest into the business. And then when I started hearing about, the six-figure blueprint, I had been in the industry for 10 years, and I really felt like I had heard that all before type of thing. So when they were talking about systems and all of those things, it really just didn't, I just didn't know if it was for real. So anyway, I decided if it's going to work if I'm going to promote it, it has to work for me. So that's what I did. I started promoting it. I followed the systems to a T. I didn't do anything extra. And while I was actually healing from my surgery, I launched my business and it worked. I started getting a huge response because I followed the systems, and yeah, it worked. It worked really, really well. And here
How
I
fast did it go senior officer?
So senior officer I hit in 6 weeks,
6 weeks.
or I'm sorry, 3 months. It was six
Okay,
weeks
that's
officer, and then by my third month, I was senior officer.
six
Yeah.
weeks officer, 3 months to senior officer, and how much for president?
So 5.5 months for president.
5.5 months.
Yeah.
Come on. That's
Yeah.
what I'm talking about. So you love speed. And by the way, amazing transformation. Come on. So proud of you, sister. And we're talking about you because your goal is by December, what do you want to achieve?
Oh, without a doubt, CEO.
Come on.
It's done. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. That's 3 optimized lines. So we
Yeah.
bring this up because how do we go CEO? We're utilizing, so you have a launch. Now we are intentionally strategizing and then we're creating waves of growth using all of this. So how do you feel about what's going on here with this? We endearingly call it a tidal wave, TITLE, not a tidal wave, you know? But how are you thinking and feeling? We've been talking about this, but what do you think about this initiative?
Oh my gosh, I love it. First of all, my marketing head is going crazy. So I'm already coming up with graphics in my mind. I'm like tidal wave, you know. I think it's so exciting. I love the whole concept. Just really it comes to the systems, duplication, the belief, just pouring into our teams. I want to see everybody win. So I know because I'm living proof that you can come in with no, story of your own yet, and you can just follow these systems. Everything's laid out for us, and this is just gonna just amplify everything we already have. And since I've been in, I will add that these systems are 10 times what I came in with. Like we have so much more. We have the machine and the Alzheimer, and I know everybody has their different things, but it's incredible and it just keeps getting better. And so I love that we collaborate together and we're all, bringing all the systems and everything together as one. And now this is going to I'm just like, we're going to see the tidal wave happening. So I just want to see everyone win. And I just love to pour into our teams, make it happen.
Love it. Thanks, Danielle. If you don't know, we have a Telegram group called Done For You Media, Champions Media Telegram. And we put reels and content and stuff like that. Everyone has access to it. I put it in the chat, but Danielle is one of the main contributors to that. She's amazing at marketing and just making things look pretty. And thank you for doing a lot of work for all of us. So we super, super appreciate you. Responsibility. Remember what I started this with. So makes sense. Awesome.
It's giving me creativity. So I'm excited for that. Yeah.
I can't wait to see it. I am not creative. So
Yes, you are.
thanks, Danielle. Amazing. And can't wait to celebrate with you at PXP. See you on stage. Actually, a couple of times. You're going to be speaking a couple of times. So this will be great.
For everything.
Awesome. Yes. All right. So I hope you guys got a little taste of what's coming on. I love our organization because we just have such a collaboration. I mean, guys, Annika talked about how she invested 150 grand in leadership. We could charge for this. Seriously, people would pay. Just the amount of talent. And there's so much talent in this group, right? There's only so much time. But this mentorship group is something truly spectacular. So with that, who here's excited about what's about to come? We're about to enter into this 90-day tidal wave. Yeah, give me a wave or put a yes or something in the comments. I know it's going to be a lot. So what do? Well, the core of this tidal wave is going to come from this group in particular, because this is the group that we want to train up and equip to do what Dana did. You don't have to be a CEO, made millions in the industry, be a sexy bearded man that looks really good bald. You don't have to. You can be somebody. You can be some. I'm looking at his face now. I should stop looking. You just have to have the willingness to step up. And Marcus says, thank goodness. So you just have to have the willingness to step up and step in. Say, I'm going to be the leader. I'm going to call the shot and let's go figure this out together. right? And any title can do that. And if you do that enough, your title comes by default. So in this mentorship group, we're going to have more training and equip you and talk about reports and systems and patterns and blah, 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 leadership, a lot of cool things. The whole organization is going to be a beneficiary of it, but we also want to extend this opportunity. So how do you get up to be a part of this? It's very simple. If you're not already yet a part of this, if you qualified already, you're in. Cool. If you want to be in, or even more important, who here has people where you're like, I would love for them to be in, right? Put a me in the comments if you have some people in mind, you're like, gosh, I got to get people into this. Leverage, that's a promotion, right? When we're essentially creating a title, which is getting into this group. If you drive that, that'll create more volume and success into your team. So it's very simple. Starting from August 1st, so last month, we had extended a period to start qualifying. All work had to be done since August 1st for new qualifiers. How do you get into this? We'll have a flyer for this everywhere. But number one, be ultimate. That's it. Okay. Why? Max out the comp plan, do the things. If you're not ultimate and you need to get there and you're like, man, I ran out of time, talk to your mentors. We'll figure it out. Okay. So ultimate. Number two, personally sponsor 2 brand partners that are activated, 200-point minimum. That could be an accumulation of multiple orders. That could be them getting customers. Doesn't matter. They just have to have 200 points in their account and then they're activated. So number one, ultimate. Number two, personally sponsor 2 activated brand partners at 200 points. Why? We want to help you start establishing your team so we can help your team win so you can win. So we're going to go find the team. That's it. You do that. As soon as you do that, we're going to have an entry form with a little bit of questions just to get to know you. And then we're going to allow you to access into this group, into our trainings and all the things. All right. So with that, I think about Elisa Senes. She's like, I want to be in here. She qualified this last month. I know we have many others that qualified. We just haven't like cracked it yet, but that's it. So my question is this. If you're not yet a part of this, who here is committed to being a part of this group officially, right? Yeah, put something in the chat below so we know. Come on, Karen, let's go. And my challenge to you would be success, love, speed, do it as quickly as possible. All right. We will not have this call next week because of PXP, but the following week, 2 weeks from now, same time, we will have our next Millionaire Mentorship call. That's going to be official closed group, and we're going to continue to move forward. Okay. Next challenge, whether you are qualified already or not, I challenge everybody, help at least one person get into this group. Yeah, we have 100 people in the Zoom. Isn't that awesome, Cheryl? Get one person, be the one to lead them to be into this. And I challenge you to do that within the next 2 weeks. Is anyone willing to accept that challenge? That's a fun one right there. Yeah. So help someone else go ultimate and enroll 2 brand partners and get them into this. If you do those things, I'm telling you, you're going to love the type of pace that you're going to have. 90 days can change your life. You do it the right way. You saw the story. And by holidays, you're going to see how, wow, CEOs, senior officers, chair people, officers, money is going to be made, tons of success, lots of things. It's going to be bananas, and the partner co world are going to look to us and be like, what did you guys just do? We had a tidal wave. All right. So with that, stay tuned for all the reminders of the flyers, but be the leader. Let's get a head start. And I challenge you to do it this week if you can. Let's just wrap it up now, you know? Annika, thank you. Dana, thank you. Danielle, thank you. Feel free to mute yourself, guys.